Hi there, this is Jeff Hansen in San Jose, California.
And this is Arvin Predis in Los Angeles, California.
And together we have a combined 40 plus years of full time real estate broker experience and are here to share some insights and connect with our community. You want to get us started today, Arvin?
Yeah, today's topic is on farming. For those people that want to farm a certain neighborhood, how do you know which neighborhood to pick? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to look for? How do you choose the area? And since you are a master farmer, I'd love to get your 2 cents so that all of our viewers can learn how to do it successfully.
I love it. So, how to pick a farm.
That's yeah. Mm-hmm.
And maybe we should do a different episode on actually how to dominate your farm.
Okay. Yeah. Picking your farm. Let's start with that.
Picking a farm is a big one, and we're going to cover this, 10 minutes or so as all of our videos. A lot of people talk about this. I'll start with maybe a couple of mistakes that people make that I see. Agents pick a farm area that's way too small, like the 100 condos in my condo complex. I'm going to start farming there. The problem with that is if with a 5% turnover, that's five sales a year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're dominating your farm, you might get 20, 30%. That's only one sale a year. And that's not enough to meet your financial goals, probably. It's also not enough to have just to have success. So I would recommend a healthy, at minimum 500, I would say, to have some kind of success that builds on itself and something going on. Just separate from where you're going to be, I would say a minimum that the more the better. Um, and then people, there are all these metrics. The typical ones are what's the turnover rate? A higher turnover rate is better. Another metric we look at is there a dominant agent currently? Is there any agent that is dominating? So pull up all the sales in the last 12 months and see. And to find out, by the way, going back to find out the turnover rate, you see how many homes are there, how many sales were there in the last year, divide it, that's the turnover rate. Dominant agent, you just go back in the MLS over the last 12 months and see who's at how many sales. Some neighborhoods, people think, oh, this woman or this guy is totally dominant. And then you do the numbers and it turns out they really haven't had that many sales, or there's someone you weren't aware of. Or sometimes agents are dominant and then they kind of slough off and they, like, you remember that name, but they're actually not doing a ton of business or they moved out of the area or something. So those are often what people look at, and those are relevant. What I've learned over the years is what might almost be most important is it's an area that you like. Even if you ideally you live there, that's perfect. If you don't live there, at least it's an area that you like a lot. You have some passion around because you're going to be the face of that neighborhood and you're going to be there all the time. Hopefully you're there every single day, taking a listing, showing a property, picking up a lockbox. So, and the other thing is if you like the area, it's more probable that the people you meet will be similar to you because you have something in common. You're both attracted to the neighborhood for the same reason. I started farming one neighborhood that all the metrics made sense, but all the people I met I had nothing in common with. And I realized it's because I would never choose to live there. I'm meeting people that live in a place that I actually kind of don't like. But on paper, it made sense. So that didn't last long, and I picked another farm that was very successful. And I didn't really think about it at the time. I realized after, but it is a place where I chose to purchase. It was a condominium in downtown San Jose, and the people I met, we had a lot in common because we both wanted to live in a condo downtown. Now that's a lot of me talking right now. I'll give you a chance, Arvin.
I think from looking at different farms, it's as much as you want to get a 5% or more turnover rate, the reality is it's hard to get that turnover rate in an area that you like. So it almost seems like you're just trying to get to that, reach that, get as close as you can to that 5%. But yeah, in an area where you really like, because I think it just if you're gonna spend time door knocking there, you're gonna spend a lot of time there. Yeah, you just really have to like it. And it comes through when you're talking about it with other people, right? Potential buyers or potential sellers. Like if you're gonna be the face of it, you can see it kind of radiate off of you when you're talking about that certain area. Um, I think the thing also is that when people are picking a farm, the point of farming is that you're just doing it over a long period of time too, right? So you kind of want to get committed to where you're farming. Because if you're only doing it for a little while and you kind of get tired of it and you weren't really that connected to it, then it's almost like you wasted some time too.
Totally. Well, this might even get into how to successfully farm, but I'll just touch on the biggest mistake agents make is they stop too soon. If you want to dominate a farm, pick an area and plan on being there forever and literally doing whatever it takes to be the number one agent there, as long as it takes. You have to have that mantra. If you're like, I'm going to try it for a few months, I'm going to send a mailer, knock on a couple doors, see what happens. Don't even bother doing it. You have to have the tenacity, just be there every month, every period of time, constantly in front of people. And also imagine 10 years from now, am I still going to want to have this my neighborhood? Do I want to be the
Mm-hmm.
mini celebrity in this area? Is that a place that I would love spending a chunk of my life? In all honesty, right? You're going to spend a lot of your working life in this area. If those things all come together, and actually, my 2 cents, it's interesting who, if there's a dominant agent, but I wouldn't let that stop you, because lots of times there's a dominant agent, but people would like an alternative. Or if that agent has success, lots of times they slough off and they stop doing what made them successful. They're not doing it anymore. They did heavy marketing and they maybe even cut out on that and they're more in maintenance mode. A lot of agents get later in their career and they just kind of gliding along. They're not in active growth mode. So if you're in that growth mode and you really want to be the go-to agent there, you can do it anywhere. Absolutely. But yeah, long-term approach.
Yeah, don't let those agents that the signs in the yard, don't let them stop you if you really want to farm that area. Don't let that intimidate you or stop you from doing it.
Not at all. Price range, I mean, I wouldn't, you could be lower. There's a whole, the guy I learned from picked a working class neighborhood in the Santa Clarita Valley. They could be working class homes, they could be, mansions. You and I were talking about someone that we heard recently who was door knocking multi-million dollar properties in the Los Angeles area. So
Mm-hmm.
it, that's a differentiator on what kind of area you want to be in and property that you're handling. Totally up to you. I don't think there's a good or bad answer there. There's a benefit to both. Higher commissions are great. Typically, there's more competition at those, but expectations a little higher. But you have a more expensive property. So whatever you're attracted to and you feel a connection with and you're committed to, as you say, and enough to make it worthwhile. Like I said, 500 minimum. Ideally, maybe a couple, 1 or 2 thousand. So you have
Mm-hmm.
enough. Because if you have 1,000 homes you're marketing to, let's say there's a 4% turnover. That's what? Um, 40 sales a year, right? Did I get the
Yeah,
math right?
I think so.
1,000 into 40, yeah, because 100 would be four.
Yeah.
So that's 40 sales a year. And if you get, if you can get 20% of those, that's at least 10 sales a year, right? That's something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can add on and expand that, because whatever this area is, like you're in this area right here, you're the go-to person for those homes, right? A block away, they may not even know who you are because they're not getting your marketing materials and that sort of thing. But you just want those people to be like, oh yeah, you're Jim Bob Joe, the go-to guy for ABC neighborhood.
Right. Yep, that's a good plan.
Well, I think a great follow-up would be exactly what to do, which is its own deep topic. The other thing let me touch on for picking a neighborhood is I don't think farming is for most people. I've had success
Mm-hmm.
with it, but I also went in knowing that it fit my personality as well. Some people are too spontaneous, like, I want to do this, and next week I want to do that, and let's go over here. The reason it's called farming is because it is like people that farm land, and you don't get growth on day one. You
Mm-hmm.
put fertilizer in, you plant the seeds, you water it, and then next season is when it grows, right?
Yep.
And the longer you're there, the better production you're going to get, and the more you know about it. So it is really like that. You're doing a lot of planting and seeding and watering, and then you get the harvest and the benefit. But if you think that's for you, and if you're going to get advice, don't talk to any agent unless they've had not just a little bit, but like some substantial success farming. Don't take advice from anybody that has an idea, or the title person, escrow rep, that says, oh, here's the 10 best things to do for farming. Talk to an agent that's actually done it at a high level, or that you talk to in person, take them out to lunch, or that you hear, an interview with. That would be the thing to do.
Right on. Cool. Yeah, that's a good tip.
Pick a farm area. Actually, and I'm totally pro on farming. I mean, I think it's so many reasons. We could have a whole other episode on why farming is worthwhile, but I'll leave it there for now. Last thoughts for you?
I think everybody that's interested in farming should stay tuned to these future videos because I think you're going to get a lot of really good nuggets.
Stay
So,
tuned. I like it.
yes.
Okay, that's all for now. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.